Hello, hello, and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn and the Frozen Wilds DLC. And we pick up the story where we left off in the last episode, and after our minor stroke major detour to the Tornek, we are now going to continue on our journey towards Thunder's Drum. We need to make a stop off at a place called Long Notch first of all, where we will meet up with the rest of the Banuk clan. And on the way there we are going to encounter a few more of these control towers, and it turns out we have a double event, as there are two within within view basically. So there's one just in front of us here, and then one off in the distance. Both are protected by machines, so let's get rid of the machines and then override both of the towers. I am going to attempt to override all of the towers rather than destroy them.
You're not going to be the one to stop me.
So I think that's all of the machines now dealt with, so we should be free and clear to just approach the first of the two towers and override it. There we go. Look at that. I do like those lovely blue neon colours, and the purple ones for the Frozen Wilds as well. They do stand out quite nicely. So Tower 1 overridden, so we're just going to approach Tower 2 now and override that as well. So you can destroy these towers if you wish. There is a yellow cylinder up by the top of the tower that shows itself whilst charging up before it unleashes a burst of energy. And you can shoot that with pretty much any arrow, I think, and that will destroy the tower. But as I said, I am going to be trying to override all of the towers I encounter. So far there have been quite a few, and I'm sure there will be a few more. So onwards to Long Notch. And once again on the way to Long Notch, as it is quite a journey and we have no fast travel or campsites available to us, we are having to run all of the way. We have encountered yet another control tower, also defended by machines. So let's start round 3, shall we? My aim is absolutely terrible. And while I've been focusing on that one machine, all of the others are sneaking up in a flanking maneuver. So the demonic stalkers, they are a nightmare to spot, especially in the snow, are now dealt with. So all that's left to do is to reacquire some spent resources and approach the control tower. So there is that orange section just at the top there. That is what you would aim for if you was destroying the towers. But I prefer the override method as it looks prettier.
Okay then, let's see if this thing can work for me.
So that's one more tower overridden, and we can now continue our journey to Long Notch. And from the icon on the screen, it turns out we're not too far away. And it also turns out that when we get here, the place is absolutely riddled with side quests. So we will be coming back here at a later date to help all of these people out in whichever way we can. So we need to speak to the former chief, Aranak or Aratak or whatever his name is. And then we're going to move on and talk to Aurea. So let's approach the former chief and engage him in conversation.
Now what?
Stay prepared. Sharpen your spears. Should we not return, defending the cut falls to you. If our chieftain agrees with this course.
Sounds like good advice, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Chieftain?
The weight of command is no small burden.
I can see that. I take it you haven't spoken to Aurea yet?
Why should I? This is what she wanted, to return to Thunder's drum. It is her only care. So I should have known she would find a way to push aside my spear. After the Karja took my sister, not all of her came back.
What happened to Aurea when she was a captive of the Karja?
As a shaman, she's adept with machines. Tracking them, stunning them. The Karja used her to capture them for the Sun Ring, where they were unleashed upon the innocent. They made her part of their blood sport. The shame she suffered beneath their pitiless sun.
She survived.
She endured. Endured by reminding herself of the spirit, her purpose. And now that's all she has.
Tell me what happened to the first expedition.
Rhea led the way to the summit, but it was blocked by a great door. Some kind of cauldron, new metal. We tried to break through, but it was unflinching. We were exhausted, no way forward and machines behind. I made the call to push back. It cost us greatly. But to remain would have cost us everything. I had hoped to never subject Aurea to that again.
What do you think is beyond that door?
I do not know. That expanse of metal, that dead hum. Nothing sacred belongs there. Machines and death, that's what the mountain holds. Death for us or for the daemon.
And if we do find the spirit?
Then perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you're coming with me.
Someone has to keep Aurea safe.
So not much information really gleaned there from the chief regarding our mission ahead. It was more to do with how he feels for his sister. So speaking of his sister, let's go and speak to her, as she seems to be the more knowledgeable and the more open about what we're about to face. Now they did mention a door, something to do with a caldera, so I'm predicting we're going to have a maze to navigate with many machines along the way. But here is Araya, or Aurea, or whatever her name is. So let's engage her in conversation.
Aloy, this is it. My chance to reunite with the spirit, and perhaps to reunite her with the blue light. It's not a chance I would have had alone. I needed an outsider. Someone ignorant of our ways, but no, not ignorant.
Are you trying to thank me, Aurea?
Yes, of course. That's what you do. Untangle knots. Create possibilities. Thank you for making this pilgrimage possible. I only wish it had not been necessary to humiliate Aratak. You were wise to let him come. He's earned the right. Stubborn as stone, but he's had to be. The war demanded it. And so have I.
Aratak told me you were a captive of the Karja for a long time. It sounded bad.
For Aratak, it all comes back to that. He thinks the Karja changed me. They did not. They merely sharpened my focus. When all else is lost, you think about what's truly important. The spirit. The blue light. The beyond. And my brother, too. Every time I felt the chill northern wind, I thought of him. Worried for him.
What did the war do to Aratak?
He cut away everything, until only his true self remained. Unyielding ice. No Banuk has more sheer will. He fought the Karja for 1,000 freezing nights, yet always rallied his hunters at sunrise. It is said he endured 23 wounds in those years. His hunters counted them. He never complains of one. Instead, he complains that life with me is harder. He's right. What have I ever given him but struggle?
What are we gonna find up there, Aurea?
Ruins. Machines. And a door, like that of a cauldron. I have faith that you can find a way through it, Aloy. For beyond it lies the spirit. I know I can find her there. Though I do not doubt the daemon has tried to hide the way.
It hasn't been easy for you, Aurea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend, it will be hard to turn back. Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother!
So we have gained access to Thunder's drum, and it is, as I suspected, a caldera, so this may take a while.
So you see, I too can call upon the power of the old ones.
So with that, we will leave the story here for now, and we will pick it up again in the next episode. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.